So I think we can all agree that it's not just gas prices that are insane. Food prices are also just out of this world. Some people are saying that it's so expensive that they have to decide, do I put gas in my car or do I put food on the table? And that's not the situation that we should be in. Now, I am constantly being asked when I personally think prices will go back down to more of a normal rate. And here I just want to give you the truth, is I don't see this likely happening anytime soon. Just to give you an idea, with the recent CPI report that came out on March 10th, what we learned was food at home is costing 8.6% more year over year. This is putting families in a very tough situation when they have to decide, is it gas in my car, food on the table, or keeping a roof over my head? Now, today I want to give you some actionable steps that you can actually take to lower the cost of food. And hopefully this will be able to allow you to stretch your budget a little bit further. But before we get into these steps, I first just want to explain something to you. I want to explain what could happen moving forward. Because here's what we know. If we continue to see worker shortages, supply chain issues, right? What we could see is restaurants having a tough time to get customers into the door. Well, guess what happens then? Well, if you guessed that they would lower prices, provide specials and deals, well, you're 100% right, because that is what we saw back when the pandemic first hit. We saw restaurants doing a buy one, get one free. We saw restaurants selling stuff for 50 to 75% off to get rid of their products that they had, but also draw new customers in. Now, here's something that you need to keep in mind. If we continue to see worker shortages, supply chain issues, and inflation, what we could see from restaurants is restaurants actually charge less and are less expensive than eating at home. Now, I want to just give you that update because here's something that many people don't account for. They don't account for the tip. They don't account for gas prices to go into the restaurant, pick up your food, and then head home. So when you factor in a tip of likely, let's say 10%, right? Let's say it's 5%. A tip of 5% on top of your meal, okay? And then you factor in gas prices. Let's say it's $5 round trip, right? Those costs should be added into your budget. So sometimes it's the gas price and the tip. Those are the things that actually send your bill a little bit higher and make it more expensive to eat away from home as opposed to in your house. So make sure you go and add those up next time you do order from a restaurant. But let's get into some 5 tips to lower the cost of food. Now, these are very actionable tips. The first one that experts recommend is you lower the amount of items that you eat per meal. They're not saying eat less. They're not saying eat bad food. They're saying eat less items. Health experts recommend that you stick to the 5 major food groups for each meal. However, budget experts, again, different philosophy here, they say that you need to be smart about what you are consuming and be smart about what you decide to include into your meal. They say that limiting the amount of items in each meal will actually reduce your overall costs. For example, let's say you have something like you want to have a chicken and you want salad, maybe a side of vegetables, some fruit, and you want some bread, right? And you're going to have a glass of water. Well, that's great. That includes your meat, your protein, your vegetables, really vegetables and fruit with salad, vegetables and fruit. And then you got a little bit of grain. But experts say instead of doing that, consider having chicken, maybe a salad with croutons, which would be your form of bread, okay, or grain, and then have some milk or add some cheese on top of that salad, which would be your dairy, and then maybe a glass of water. This would actually cost you less money, and it would be just as filling. So consider less items because some say less items will go further, right? Tip number 2, shop at wholesale stores. What we know is that about 45% of retail grocery stores are supplied by a wholesale store. So they're simply profiting off your shopping in their specific store. Now, what you can actually do is find a grocery store. Instead of going to an actual grocery store, go to a wholesale grocery store and buy direct. Now, here's something that you need to keep in mind. In most wholesale stores, you have to pay a fee. You have to pay a yearly membership fee. That's fine, as long as you are going into that store multiple times a month. But if you're going to go in once, twice, 5 times a year, might not be worth it. So this oftentimes gets you the best deals. But again, keep in mind, there's a membership that's likely included, so add that into your overall cost. Tip number 3 is to pay for your groceries using a cashback credit card. Now, oftentimes credit card companies will provide you a cashback bonus on things like grocery products, gasoline, travel, things like that. Something that I like to do, that's something that I get a benefit from one of my credit cards, is they offer a customizable 5% cash back. And every single month, I can there's a list of certain stores I can go into that have a double or even triple cash back, depending on the time of the year. Or I can even select certain stores, like let's say I want Walmart a specific month, or I want Kroger a different month, or I want something like the Cheesecake Factory a separate month, right? I can go and pick which ones I want for that specific month, and it can save me a lot of money. So that's something that I do as well. That's something that you should highly consider if you have a credit card that would do that. And I know something like this sounds somewhat confusing to begin with, but once you do it and you realize how simple this is, and saving 3 to 5 to maybe 8% during the holidays, this is a great way to save on your grocery products. And again, with the average US family spending about $5,300 per year on groceries, this amounts at 5% cash back. This amounts to $265 cash back every single year. It's not a lot of money, but it's a good start. And this is just one thing that you can do. Another thing that experts say is to meal prep. And oftentimes, I get this all the time because I like to meal prep. I don't do it all the time, but I like to do this because number one, it means that you always have something there to eat. But oftentimes people look at meal prepping that it's only for people that are dieting or trying to eat healthy. And that's not necessarily true. The truth is that prepping your meals ahead of time causes you to eat at home more. This will allow you to buy in bulk, split it up, right? Package it into separate meals, which is great. Kids love it, adults love it, it just works. The best part about all this is that you don't have to do this every single time, and again, this is the best part, it just takes minutes to either reheat or you just eat it cold. Maybe it's something like a sandwich. You just eat it cold. It's something like, some chicken, right? Some rice, throw it in the microwave, quick little, 30 seconds or a minute later, you're ready to eat and you're ready to go. And it's saving you money all while you're doing this. And this is probably my favorite way to save money on grocery products, is to pre-plan your grocery list and stick to it 100%. Now, I like to go grocery shopping. I do. And one of the reasons why is because nobody bothers me. I just walk into the store, I get exactly what I want. I don't look at anything else. I have a list and I write down the list. Okay, I know this item is first in the grocery store. This is second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay? And I walk in, and I kid you not, I can get all the grocery products that my family needs. It's a family of 5. I can get all the grocery products my family needs, okay, for like weeks. And I can do this in less than 30 minutes. Okay, that's drive from my house to the store, go into the store, get everything, put it in the cart, okay, pay for it, put it back into the car and drive home. Less than 30 minutes to do that. And again, it's because I stick to a grocery list 100% and I never deviate. All right. So those are things that you could do right now to actually help lower the cost of food for you and your family. If you have questions on any of this stuff, you can always ask your questions down in the comment section below. I'm not an expert on saving money on food. Okay. Honestly, I spend a lot of money eating out because it's, just with what I do, running multiple businesses, it just makes sense for me to not have to go and cook a meal. But again, this is where meal prepping comes in. Okay, so if you got any questions, let me know your questions down in the comment section below. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.